Dignity isn't optional. How to rebuild your life. When everything falls apart, you know that feeling when someone casually asks how you're doing, and the only honest answer sitting in your chest is a lot. Not fine. Not even busy. Just a lot. Like life decided to pile on every possible challenge at once and then asked if you'd like fries with that. That's the moment I met Jade Fenixbyjade. And let me tell you something about this woman. She's not just surviving chaos, she's rewriting the entire rule book on what it means to stand tall when the world is actively trying to fold you in half. Jade is out here making the world softer, stronger, and infinitely more honest, one grace filled step at a time. She's teaching us that dignity isn't some luxury you access when life is going well. It's survival. It's the thing that carries you when everything else falls apart. And today I'm sharing what she taught me because honestly, we all need this. Welcome to Soft Girl Era, hosted by me, LeAnne Dolce, pronounced Dolce, like sweet softness whispered in French. This is the sacred space where strong Black women unlearn survival, rediscover softness, and reclaim the joy, rest, and freedom they deserve without guilt, without apology, and without explanation. And today, we're talking about never folding, even when life piles on so much you can barely see over it. We're talking about keeping your head up with respect, with dignity, with integrity, and rebuilding with grace, capital letters, all of it. Here's the thing nobody tells you. We've been taught that strength means carrying everything, that resilience means never cracking, that grace is something you extend to other people, not yourself. But Jade Fenixby Jade flipped that entire script. She said, keep your head up, walk with respect, hold your dignity like it's the last thing they can't take from you, and rebuild, not with bitterness, not with rage, but with grace. And I sat there during our conversation thinking, how many of us are walking around folded? How many of us have been bent so far backward by life's chaos that we forgot what it feels like to stand straight? How many of us are performing strength while quietly crumbling inside? Jade reminded me, and I'm reminding you that you don't have to fold, not for anyone, not for anything. You can read a chapter of her story in the book. She owns it on Amazon. And trust me, it'll wreck you in the best way. So let's talk about what Jade taught me. Three truths, three non negotiables that every Black woman who's ever been told to be strong, to keep going, to hold it together, needs to hear. First, resilience in chaos. No matter how much a lot piles on, chin up and walk forward without folding. It's your dignity and your integrity that carry you, not your bank account, not your job title, not even your support system, though we thank God for those when we have them. It's you, your spine, your refusal to let life's weight crush your spirit. Let me tell you about someone who lived this truth so powerfully that her name became synonymous with resilience itself. Madam C.J. Walker, born Sarah Breedlove in the early 1900s, orphaned young, married at 14, widowed by 20, washing clothes for pennies while her scalp was literally falling apart from a severe ailment that caused hair loss. She had every reason to fold, every single reason. Society gave her permission to disappear into poverty and obscurity. But she didn't take it. Instead, she developed her own hair care formula through relentless trial and error. She sold it door to door, training other Black women to do the same with an unwavering emphasis on dignity and self respect. She became America's first self made female millionaire, built factories, salons, training schools, funded scholarships and civil rights work. She didn't just survive, she rebuilt an entire community's economic foundation. And she did it with her chin up. Even when racism barred her from business loans, even when poverty tried to define her forever. That's what Jade is talking about. That's resilience in chaos. It's not about being unbreakable. It's about refusing to let the break define you. It's about looking at the pile of a lot and saying, this will not be my ending. Second, rebuilding with grace. Turn setbacks into comebacks by embracing grace as your foundation. And I'm not talking about the kind of grace that's passive or weak or about letting people walk all over you. I'm talking about the kind of grace that says, I see what happened to me, I feel it. I'm not pretending it didn't hurt, and I'm choosing to move forward anyway, with intention, with softness, with power. Ursula Burns knows this intimately. She grew up in the inner city, faced skepticism about teen pregnancy, and climbed from a Xerox intern in 1980 to CEO in 2009, the first Black woman to lead a Fortune 500 company. She didn't bulldoze her way there. She didn't have to become harder or meaner or more ruthless. She mentored relentlessly. She focused on ethical leadership and innovation. And when Xerox was near bankruptcy, she didn't compromise her integrity to save it. She turned around a $13 billion company with grace fueled decisions. She oversaw a $6.4 billion sale of Xerox units and championed STEM education for underserved youth. She shattered barriers not by being louder or harder, but by being grounded in who she was and what she stood for. That's rebuilding with grace. It's not about pretending the setback didn't happen. It's about using it as the foundation for something even stronger. It's about saying, this pain will not go to waste. This struggle will become my testimony. This breakdown will fuel my breakthrough. And third, integrity as power. Respect for self and others fuels unstoppable progress, even when you're starting fresh, even when you're starting over, even when you're starting from absolute scratch with nothing but your word and your vision. Let me tell you about someone who turned frustration into a $1 billion empire. Her name is Sarah Blakely. She launched Spanx from her Atlanta apartment in 2000 with $5,000 in savings while working sales jobs to pay rent. She cut the feet off pantyhose because she wanted a smoother look under white pants. That's it. That's how it started. A small frustration, a simple solution. And then she got rejected by every major manufacturer, every single one. Faced skepticism in a male dominated industry that didn't take her seriously, but she persisted with cold calls, pitched in person with prototypes she made herself, and maintained her integrity by refusing shortcuts. She became the youngest self made female billionaire. Oprah endorsed her, and sales skyrocketed. She built a global empire that revolutionized the intimates industry and inspired countless Black women entrepreneurs to bootstrap with grace. Sarah didn't fold when the no's piled up. She kept her integrity intact and let that be her power. She didn't compromise her vision. She didn't cut corners. She didn't become someone she wasn't in order to succeed. That's what Jade Fenixbyjade is teaching us. That's what we need to remember. Integrity isn't just a nice idea, it's the foundation of everything that lasts. Now, here's where it gets real. How are you learning to be soft in a world that taught you survival? Because that's the question at the heart of Soft Girl Era. That's the question Jade answered without even knowing she was answering it. She said, I'm not folding. I'm not losing my respect. I'm not sacrificing my dignity. I'm rebuilding with grace. And that, sis, is softness. That's the sacred pause. That's the deep exhale from the Superwoman script. We've been taught that softness is weakness, that rest is laziness, that saying no is selfish, that boundaries are rude, that asking for help means you're failing. But what if softness is actually the most radical act of self love we can commit? What if keeping your chin up with dignity is the ultimate rebellion against a world that wants you broken and silent? Jade Fenixbyjade is living proof that you can face chaos, hold your head high, and rebuild with grace. And she's not alone. Madam C.J. Walker did it in the early 1900s. Ursula Burns did it in corporate America. Sarah Blakely did it in a male dominated industry, and you can do it too, right where you are, right now. Because here's what I need you to understand: this isn't about having it all together, this isn't about being perfect or polished or pretending you're not struggling. This is about choosing dignity when everything around you is falling apart. This is about walking with your head up even when your heart is breaking. This is about rebuilding with grace even when bitterness would be easier. Jade taught me that grace isn't what you give when you have nothing left. It's what you choose when you have everything to lose. It's the decision to honor yourself even when the world dishonors you. It's the commitment to integrity even when shortcuts are tempting. It's the refusal to fold even when folding feels inevitable. And let me be clear, this journey isn't easy. Nobody's pretending it is. Rebuilding with grace doesn't mean you don't cry. It doesn't mean you don't get angry. It doesn't mean you don't have moments where you want to give up. It means you feel all of that and you keep moving forward anyway. It means you honor your emotions without letting them define your destiny. It means you give yourself permission to be human while refusing to give up on your humanity. So, here's what I need you to do this week: identify one a lot that's weighing you down. Write it out, look at it, name it, and then take one grace filled step forward with your chin up. No folding, just dignified action. Maybe it's setting a boundary you've been avoiding. Maybe it's saying no without guilt or explanation. Maybe it's resting without apologizing. Maybe it's asking for help without feeling weak. Maybe it's just standing in the mirror and saying, I see you, I respect you, and I'm not letting this break you. Because resilience in chaos isn't about being superhuman, it's about being fully human and refusing to let that humanity be crushed. Rebuilding with grace isn't about ignoring pain, it's about transforming it into purpose. Integrity as power isn't about perfection, it's about alignment between who you are and how you show up in the world. Jade Fenixbyjade reminded me of something I'd forgotten: that softness isn't the opposite of strength. It's the evolution of it, that grace isn't weakness, it's wisdom, that dignity isn't a luxury, it's a necessity. That rebuilding isn't about returning to who you were before, it's about becoming who you were always meant to be. So I'm asking you right now: what would it look like to stop folding? What would it feel like to walk with your head up, even when life is heavy? What would change if you rebuilt with grace instead of bitterness? What would become possible if you chose integrity as your power? This is your invitation. This is your permission. This is your challenge. Stop waiting for life to get easier before you choose dignity. Stop waiting for the chaos to end before you stand tall. Stop waiting for permission to rebuild with grace. You have everything you need right now: your dignity, your integrity, your grace. And that's more than enough. Keep your chin up, sis. Walk with respect. Hold your integrity like it's the last thing they can't take from you. And rebuild, not with bitterness, but with grace, because you deserve softness. You deserve rest. You deserve joy. You deserve to unlearn survival and rediscover what it feels like to just be. The world needs you whole. The world needs you soft. The world needs you standing tall with your dignity intact. So take that grace filled step, choose yourself, and watch what becomes possible when you refuse to fold. This is soft girl era. This is your moment. This is your life. Now go live it with your head up and your heart open. The rebuild starts now.